Hello, fellow Star Voyagers. Welcome back. Sarah, thank you for the host, Indie Coffee. Hey, I didn't give you a proper shout out yesterday. I'm bad at them in general, but yesterday when you raided and the alerts didn't work, I think I found the alert setting that was not triggering on that stuff. And, you know, the host alerts were working, but the raid alerts weren't all working. Thank you again, host and raid. And yeah. I think you're the first one here, so, you know, I'm probably talking to an empty room, but a much belated post of a link back to Sarah's stream. So, if anyone's watching this later, like on a VOD or something, please check her out, drop a follow, show some J-Love anyways, even though I'm a little late there. Yeah. No, I'm a real social flunky in general, so I'm aware of that. Kind of have to push out of my element to do all the normal bits and pieces of, well. No more sleep. I'll try not to bite my tongue drinking a soda today. Still don't know how I did that. But it was one of the worst chomps. Worst self-tongue injuries I've ever sustained. It's still hurting days and days and days later. Doesn't take away from the cream soda, though. So, what is everybody up to? We might start work on a new base. An actual base. A base that might look good. Some domes, some things today. What to catch up on. And we had a stream yesterday, but then last night, did a little more blueprint hunting, and I got the quantum processor blueprint. Just finished work. Nice. You get to relax, I hope. What region are you in? Again, I don't remember. Middle of the day here. You know what, let's go to that star. I'm just gonna... Let's wander towards that star bulb. I got a reason for wanting to pick the star bulbs that are... Why? Oh, those aren't star bulbs. Those are plants in my... Aha! Alright. Well, let's pick the plants in here. This was our little starter base, and... very crowded. Everything that's in here was here because a quest sort of demanded it. Have to charge stuff up. You were in Spain, you're in Germany now? I gotcha. Well, now that makes a lot more sense. You really have to refuel these hydroponics trays? I could have sworn I've left them empty and seen things grow in them anyways. I'm a little fuzzy on that. Do they grow faster if you fuel them, but grow anyways, just more slowly if you don't? Let's test that. Let's see. Wait, is it one of these trays? Trays empty? That tray looks empty. I am not going to put any fuel in the Selenium Solar Vine trays. No fuel. No fuel. We're going to come back sometime, and we'll see if they grew anyways. Maybe they just grow more slowly. I don't know much about farming, but our next base is going to have glass domes and some proper farming. Proper farming because we need to make subcomponents and subcomponents of things to sell for cash, which I did some of last night. I made 5 stasis devices. I cashed in 78 million on a stack of 5. I took some pictures of it somewhere, but I think it was the stasis devices. We have 2 blueprints that are worth a whole lot. Stasis devices, 15.6 each. And fusion igniters, 15.6 each. And now that we have blueprints for all the subcomponents, including quantum processors, The cryo chambers, cryo pumps, all this stuff. And I had nice stacks of loot from depots. I've been saving things without really knowing what they were gonna go into. I was able to put together reactors and geodesite and liquid explosives and heat capacitors and stuff and stuff and stuff. Ooh, hey, look at that. We got 226 million units now. So, yeah. Might be some reason I just picked those up. That's the reason I have those. Freighter, starting to feel pretty crowded, even trying to keep it tidy. But we're gonna need we're gonna have to start using other ships to store things or some sort of organization. We're gonna need a lot of frost crystals, not just for glass, for buildings, but for components, for making money. So eventually, I think we build some proper farming structures, and then we can organize later how we're gonna do this. We need to farm this stuff, and this stuff, and this stuff to make these components, and these components to make these, and these to make that. And if we want 5 of those, we need to farm all of this. People have done this, I'm sure there's guides, but it's also something probably not too hard to calculate. It's just gotta break down all the numbers. I found a nice crafting calculator online, but it was for the 1.3.8 version of the game. Resources changed, apparently a lot. So you can't really use it right now. I don't think you can use it because some of the things it mentions don't even exist. And it's maybe the names just changed, but I think more than just the names changed in a few cases. So can't really use that calculator. Selenium, cactus flesh, fungal mold, star bulbs, frost crystals. We need a lot of all of that stuff. One thing we might do is go to a system that has all of those planets, hot, cold, fungal. You get the idea. We need to be able to collect, hopefully without too much pain in the ass hopping, all that stuff. Now, they don't have to be in the same system. I'm thinking I want to put a nomad platform on any planet that we're going to use regularly to farm materials. I was doing this a little bit earlier. Just popping the nomad out here. Ah! That was scary. You scared me. Scientists scared that. Yeah. Wow, we crammed a lot of stuff into this little base. But this is no way to farm. No way to farm. It's still gonna take me 2-3 minutes once I get somewhere just to clean up my inventory from picking all those things up. Where do they all go? Where do they go? Most of it goes to the freighter. It's not a big deal. But this is what I want on any planet where we're gonna be going from node to node. There's a catch that I really don't understand why it is this way. If I can make an example out of it. You find a waypoint that's in the distance. Paraffinium deposit, it's a resource. It might not work for this example. Check it and then we'll see here. Alright, paraffinium, still good. Let me pick something that's not a resource. Something in the distance. Come on, give me a far off waypoint. The quest one here is not gonna be able to make my case very well right now. But when I was looking for solar vines, the waypoint, let's try this one. The waypoint for a solar vine is a type of waypoint that disappears when you're in an exocraft, even if you've tagged it. Now, the alien artifact didn't disappear. I don't understand if was I looking at a bug or is it behaving by different rules? Just make a far off waypoint maybe. Let me make a custom waypoint somewhere. See what happens with that. So far I'm wrong. So far I'm just wrong. The trouble I was having is I wasn't able to mark a solar vine off in the distance that I saw when I was on foot, and then hop in the Nomad and go to it because the waypoint would disappear. Just gone. Consistently gone. So maybe it was a bug. There's a lot of bugs in this game. A lot of bugs. But the idea is a lot of terrain is hilly, and if you're trying to collect 2,000, you gotta pick the vines to get it, whatever, solar, fungal. Running and jetting up a lot of hills is no way to go through life. This does it much more quickly. And my trouble was navigating. Once I was trying to go from one node to another node, I couldn't track them. I'd get in this thing and my waypoints would be gone, tagged or not. And so, maybe that won't happen anymore. That'd be nice. Be nice if that didn't happen. And as for the mining laser, this thing doesn't, I didn't even put one in here, huh? I guess there's no point in putting one in because we don't have any room for it. I put in the scanners. We can use this thing to scan for depots. Yeah. See, so it's worth building this on different planets. It's going to take paraffinium, batteries, and something else. We don't need drop pods anymore. Abandoned structures are kind of fine, whatever. Basically, I want this for scanning for depots because we'll get good resources out of depots, and maybe we can find 1 or 2 depots on every planet that we go to. The one near here is busted. There's no point in scanning for depots here. Could you scan for you as well? I might take requests. Hello, C-Star, welcome. Hope you're getting settled back in at home okay. Happy Tuesday, back at ya. So, this'll be one thing that we use for gathering resources. Not because we can resource with it, but because it'll get us from node to node where we can pick them much more quickly, as well as go over water. It'd be interesting if a future game update lets you somehow, I don't know, deploy this in different ways. Even without a base, you can build this terminal, this little platform that summons it. So on a planet, you don't just want to build one on every planet you visit. That would be expensive and a little pointless. But if you're going to spend half an hour or more going from one node to another trying to gather a stack of something, I think it's worth it. So, I named a system Bounty once. I think I want to go check it out. It had a variety of different planets in it, and I thought, oh, look, I'll call this Bounty, because we got hot, cold, radioactive, fungal. I think it had them all. Was it missing one? Was it missing toxic? We definitely need that too. So we don't need to get it all in one system. We can just drop bases and give them appropriate names on planets that are just choice for these things. We can make a fungus base. We can make settling okay, tired during the days and all awake in the evening. So the usual. I don't know how you get used to having your routine get broken so often. I don't know if you can get used to that, but there's Bounty. So Bounty has cold, low sentinels. It's a mix. There's some hostile planets too. That was radioactive, hostile. That was just a nice planet, so I guess maybe there's high security. Really want a base there, unless that was your thing. Another cold, limited sentinels. Is that 2 cold, low sentinels? Not the best distribution. It must not have been as good as I thought. Also has warm. Also has fungal. So what is it missing? Get her fungal mold. Get her selenium. Frost crystals, and all of those have limited sentinels, so that's kind of nice. At least those 3: frost crystals, selenium. We don't have a desert world with cactus. Is that what's missing? Selenium, high security. So why do we need these things? Why do we need fungal mold in large numbers? Why do we need selenium in large numbers? see if I can, without getting too tongue-tied, look at some of it. Heat capacitors are part of circuit boards. Circuit boards are part of quantum processors. Let's back up. Heat capacitors, we're going to need a lot of them. We're going to need a lot of quantum processors. And they're a couple notches down the chain. So, heat capacitors, frost crystals, and selenium, and that's a fair amount. 200 selenium, 100 frost crystals, just to make one heat capacitor. One heat capacitor goes into one circuit board along with the polyfiber. I think that's where some of the cactus need for cactus comes in. We're there, let's talk about it. Cactus 100, Starbulb 200. That's a lot. That's a lot just to make one. To make one circuit board, we need 200 Starbulb, 100 cactus flesh, and 100 frost crystal, and 200 selenium. All of that to make one circuit board, which is half of a quantum processor. So, trying to get the picture, there's a lot of materials we need, and then there's layers of this. Seastar, don't really get used to it. You're just used to having weird schedules. Nice. Nice place with a view. Glad you found a spot. So, and there's these, yeah, anyways, we could go around in circles talking about how many things need things which need things. But at the bottom of the food chain is a bunch of this stuff we need to pick. We can farm it. Our own base is generating a little bit. But really, we need bigger bases that generate a lot in an organized fashion. Not quite ready to do that, but getting closer. For now, I want to gather some of this stuff by hand. I like running around planets still. I'm fine with that. I want to use the Nomad more. We're going to need some extra fuel for the Nomad. In fact, the one slot it has to fill that with a 500 stack of condensed carbon just to fuel itself as we run around gathering other things is probably a good idea. We're going to need extra. I was gathering pure ferrite. At some point we're going to build some more buildings, but probably premature. We're going to need a place to hold all that in the meantime. But I would like to, I don't know, we don't have to make more fancy stasis devices and make money. We don't have to do that right now, but I was kind of thinking, why not? Let's make another stack. Let's gather the resources. Let's go through the process of making 80 million. Why not? Let's make 80 million units. It's faster to mine with the Nomad. No. No. Move, yeah. Move, yes. Movement. I don't even have a mining laser in mine right now. The Nomad is the one is the hovercraft. It doesn't really have much room, ever. Okay, we need all the stuff. I want to make a little calculator on how much stuff we're gonna need. I haven't done that yet. There are old ones online, but they also involve resources that don't exist. Some of these are fine. You look up heat capacitor, it probably still says frost crystal selenium in a 138 version calculator. But somewhere in there, the numbers aren't right for something, or the resources don't exist for something. And I just want to take my own notes on what I need, and I'm working on it. But I don't have them yet. So we could just, let's go to one planet and grab some stacks. Go to another planet and grab some stacks. When we end up with too many stacks, we'll go back to the freighter, and I'll drop them in one of our other ships. It's messy. We'll do it for now. Later on, we'll do it in a more organized fashion. So, bounty may not be great, but let's go there and go put down a Nomad on one of those planets and go gather a bunch of stuff. Not with a full inventory. We can hold some of this, like 1,000 stack of everything on the freighter. My intention is to get more than we can reasonably hold right now on the freighter. I want to get bigger stacks, and we'll put them on other ships, so think about that. Caesar, hello. Good evening. I think you're right. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's just see what overflows. I know the selenium won't fit up there. Okay, when we go out collecting, I'm gonna let this spill over in the freighter. I don't know what planet we're gonna land on. When we go out collecting, I'm not gonna send all that stuff up to the freighter. We're gonna collect stacks, go to the freighter, and if they're, depending on how much we end up with, it may be less than I think, we'll use one of the other ships. Sell you real quick. You're just an awkward stack. Get out of here. Why am I carrying all the ferrite? Where can I put all the ferrite? You know what? Did I get rid of the Colossus? Is the Colossus still sitting on the ground somewhere? Colossus has room for some resources. Some. Is it spinning its wheels permanently? It looked like it was. All right, it has some extra storage, so we can at least drop Nomad, Colossus. Oh, we can go to any of them. We don't have to make it the active one if it's nearby. Cool. We can use the Colossus for some overflow research. Resource storage. Carrying a ton of mag ferrite too. Point. Okay, teleport to Bounty System, check the mission terminal, sell those Gravitino balls, go put boots on the ground on one of the planets there, and start collecting some stuff, and then we'll, yeah, yak about that a little more. Well, that's awful and silly. Did that just start today, minutes ago? When did that start happening? C-Star. That Xbox is having connectivity issues and prompting you every few minutes to confirm the content. We should try to find a truly perfect system for mining all kinds of, not mining necessarily. Forget what I'm saying. There's no perfect system. There are perfect systems if they're perfect for what you want to, so whatever. Finding nearly everything in a system is very possible. Finding everything in a system is unlikely. Even if you did, with teleporters, does it make that much of a difference? It's probably easier to teleport from one resource base site planet to another than to fly, so does it really matter if they're in the same system? As long as your bases are named accordingly, it doesn't really matter, does it? Some larger Azure service issue. I'm guessing it's related. Started this afternoon. I wonder what else is affected. Third-party stuff hosted on their platform. Sounds like. So as I'm learning more about what we need to craft some fancy trade items, I start to see organic catalyst and thermic condensate and go, that's worth it now. And raiding a planetary depot, this is likely to give us a waypoint to a planetary depot, as well as the resources from the planetary depot. So I'm not just interested in the nanites, missions with nanites anymore. And even though this will require delivery, okay. I'm taking some different types of missions that I wasn't before. Oh, look at the little snub-nosed ring fighter! Haha! Little orange snub-nosed ring wing fighter. That was cool. I want to catch sight of that again sometime. Connection is all messed up today. There, it sucks. Sorry to hear it. Maybe it won't last. We're looking for pulse spitter upgrades. I finally made a pulse spitter mod for my gun. And we're looking for S-class pulse spitter mods. Okay. The world's selenium hot, but selenium not cactus. What's we need a dusty desert planet for cactus, right? We're just not gonna find that here. We need more selenium. Always tend to get more phosphorus. South US, maybe a lot, intermittent. I guess if it's desert hot, you get cactus. If it's cook you hot, you get selenium, phosphorus. Gamma root.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
No transcoding today? No. That's yeah, indie coffee, misbehaved, both no transcoding, and it sounds like it's really crappy. Let me at least look. Yeah, it's not. The numbers look okay here, but with sorry. Twitch, why won't you let your streamers pay for transcoding? I pay you. You don't have to pay for the... I pay you. You let me know when I can pay you, and then I pay you for transcoding. Do we have a deal? Can we make a deal? How hot is it? Doesn't matter. Let's go. A desert would be prettier. And I don't think it doesn't really matter where we spawn the exocraft. Can you subsequently summon it from anywhere or only from certain places? Let's see, a tower. I haven't been landing at too many towers, but you know what? Doesn't really matter where we land. Transcoding is so rare nowadays. I mean, if it's a resource and cost issue for them, pass the cost on. What's wrong with doing that? Oh, Boltcaster Module S. I'm not going to use it though, because it doesn't actually increase. It says damage, but it's baby percentages. What it does is enable ricochet mode, and then I can't hit anything like a door. I can't hit doors with my Boltcaster anymore. So that is a nice mod to come out of a damaged machinery. Instead of 30 nanites, we got something we can sell for 400 nanites. You're lurking anyways, misbehave, so it's dealable. You have a good lurk. Maybe we should see if there is, in fact, a lot of selenium on this planet. I don't know how to assess that, other than just Try driving around and see if we run into a lot or not. Here's some. Okay. Let's make a Nomad platform, even if it's hasty to do so right now. Need 5 metal plating and 4 batteries. I know I have some batteries, but I'm going to make some first. Just gonna make 4 more, even though I have a few in my pack. I want to keep the few in my pack, keep the stack going. So paraffinium, batteries, ferrite dust for the metal plating, and then you can make, even without a base, if you can remember the buttons, any of a single exocraft platform. And then instead of flying around and using launch fuel and landing everywhere, which is really not efficient for hopping everywhere, we have a nice fast craft. And but did you see that the selenium, it disappeared? Where's the marker? Okay. This is what I was trying to talk about on the other planet. Where did the selenium go? It's over here. I am now tagging it. Solar Vine is tagged. I don't have to have line of sight on it for the tag to work and tag to hold. It's not like a building that you don't have line of sight on, which you tag and then the tag disappears. Tag is holding. Okay, tag is holding. Just in case we lose it here, it's just northeast. Tag gone. Tag gone. The things I'm trying to use the Nomad to get to, you cannot see them. Even if they've been previously tagged, once you get in the Nomad, they just bye-bye tags. And there's no, I mean, you have a scan mode, but the scan mode doesn't reveal those things. So the very first thing I'm trying to do with this craft is like the worst thing to do with this craft. Because then you have to, like there it is, whoa! You gotta eyeball it. And it's so easy to fly by them and never see them, and at night, it's a little easier, they glow. But why in the world that works that way? Maybe it's not intended. It's supposed to work better than that. So that one node, 172 selenium, and you saw how much we need for single things. So we can tag that at 600. Looks like it's in the shadow of that little mountain. And we got to remember that because we are not going to see that tag or be able to restore it while we're in the craft. So it's not, there's only north and south on the compass. I'm not going to get these. They're going to disappear before the scan takes. Come on. Oh, shadow of the mountain. They just forgot to implement the tags when in craft. Maybe. I realize you can't use your visor the same way. It wouldn't make sense to use your visor the same way while in an exocraft, but why there can't be some equivalent tech, or at least be able to keep your markings. At least the markings. Other things stay if you mark them and get in the exocraft, but now that's what we needed. A nice crop of selenium. Nice. So we might want to drop a base back at that landing pad where the ship is. Just drop a base computer and a transporter. That in the future, maybe this node respawns. Maybe it would be worth putting a base near this node. Even though I already put the Nomad platform somewhere else. But details, details. Yeah, you could just fly through them and collect it all. Wouldn't that be nice? I don't mind picking them. I like having a reason for a little adventure, running around on a planet, do something. I don't mind picking flowers. I'm okay with that. It just needs a little quality of life. As with so much of this game, and it's in some cases bugs, and in other cases just lack of features, it needs some quality of life improvements. Some cases very basic. Nearly 750. There is another vine, so that's north. But since we don't have east, it gets a little messy. It looks like northeast of here. There's really no point in marking it. We're gonna go around the mountain, then we'll probably have to hop out and check again. But 600 units is not that far. It's really easy to go too far too fast in the Nomad. Shit. 600 units. But it's much nicer than climbing all these hills when you're trying to go point to point to point to point. You need to cover a lot of grounds. Alright, we gotta check. Where are we? And it doesn't even keep your old waypoint. You gotta make a new one. Other side of the hill. Other side of the hill. Airborne! Hi, birds! Hi, birds! It's messy! It's way messier than the Mako. You have 3 different exocraft to choose from. Though the Colossus is so slow, it's not really fun to drive. Gonna get away from us again? Yep. No! Yay! Yay! A lot of those birds. Big, beautiful birds. I said I wasn't going to fill the freighter up. And I shouldn't. We already have a second stack of selenium up there, though, so we may as well use it. So let me check again, since I don't have notes yet. The selenium was for which? Heat capacitors needed selenium. 200, we've got 2,000 plus. So that's cool. And heat capacitors worth. Did we need the selenium for anything else? Be nice when I have my notes organized on some of this. Messy. But no, I don't think we needed selenium for anything else. with a disorganized thought process on this. Nitrogen, condensed carbon. Is that really the only craftable that we're going to need it for is heat capacitors, which we'll need plenty of in the long run. You need a lot of heat capacitors for circuit boards, for quantum processors. But selenium, simple, 200 heat capacitors, 200 per heat capacitor. So what are you building? Last night I made a 5-stack of stasis devices, and I think I made one of fusion igniters. But a 5-stack of stasis devices was worth like 78 million, price adjusted market. I flew around a few times to try and find a decent price for it. But yeah, I have 226 million units now because I have all the blueprints to make fancy stuff. It just, to make fancy stuff, you need less fancy stuff. To make that, you need less fancy stuff. And to make that, you need resources plucked off of plants on many planets. So I keep thinking we should... Hey, look at you. Kind of like Dodo Rexalope. Come on, little guys. Don't make me shoot you out of the air to scan you. Don't make me do it. Scan yourself, please. Did we scare them off? Did we get any? Any of them fall? No, it's a horrible thing to do. How do you scan butterflies? I have just said you have to get lucky if you don't want to take them out. You can't really follow them. You just kind of got to hope that the hitbox works. Not the mineral. Stop it. Stop it. Butterflies. There you go, there you go, there you go. That one's good. You're doing more stasis devices? Kind of. Maybe. Maybe. I was thinking about setting up... Where's the Nomad? I was thinking about setting up... bases, basically, on planets that have some of these resources. Not whole bases, just teleporters. So that I can make some sort of a routine for farming this stuff. But the real way to do it is you build a base with domes and you farm the materials yourself. You don't go to all these different planets, you grow the stuff. So I'd like to do that too. Maybe it's silly to even talk about doing it any other way temporarily. Why do this temporarily? I don't know. I still like scouting planets and just wandering around. But this thing does cover a lot of grounds real quick. Yeah, we may as well drop a base computer teleporter up there. What about growing stuff? Was I summoned? Apparently I used the words to summon Chronic. Greetings, man. Yeah, I made a stack of stasis devices last night. The money was good. I'm not quite ready to farm all the resources yet, but I was thinking about the practicality of dropping geobays on different planets and some teleporters, and so it would be easy enough to go around and farm all the different pickable flowers and things that you need to make the base components. Yeah, it made me some cash last night. Why not? I'll just drop a base computer here and a teleporter and... Why not? But if we're making a lot of geobays on some different planets... Oh, bipedal bug. Bipedal bug. Lacks a gallbladder. Is that necessary to tell us? So what? Good for you. Hello, Guardian. You found another glitch. What'd you run into? Chronic, you'd recommend farming instead. It's a real pain in the ass to go searching for them. It is, especially because the waypoints, as I was just complaining about, the waypoints, even if you tag them first, disappear when you get in the Nomad. Waypoints to vines and things like that. Cool. Not cool. So, yeah, I get that. And I want to do that, but I don't want to do that right now. I'm gonna do it in an abstract sense. I don't think I really want to start laying out domes right now. I like going around picking things. Mindless is what I'm looking for these days. I don't want to farm and suddenly free up my time to sit and think. To be honest, I mean, I will. I say that facetiously. Yes, I want to farm stuff, but I totally don't need more time on my hands to think right now. Build a farming complex with the circular prefabs and then put the domes on top. Hey, that's neat. That's a good tip. Just in general, I hadn't thought that put a dome, a glass biodome on top of a prefab. I have a question for you about prefabs. Related, if you take a prefab round and put another prefab round on it, what happens on the inside? Is it a single room, double height? Or is it two rooms with some sort of a ladder in between them? I feel like I should know the answer, but I don't. Guardian, do not put hex cores in base or freighter containers. It will make your inventory full, even if it's not when trying to transfer it from them or any other material. Occasional random stuff. I think what you're running into is less about hex cores and more about a bug that I thought they fixed, but they didn't fix, with storage containers. It is possible with storage containers for you to get that inventory full message, and what I really don't know exactly what's going on, but when that happens, try to remove a different item from your storage container. Pick a different item, not the one you're trying to remove. But just pick a different one until something moves, and then go back to the one you were trying to move. And when you try to move it, something will probably duplicate into the slot. It's fucked up, and there's like some weird duping bug that if you run into that, try moving other stuff around until it gives. You did, it didn't work. Guardian, it's a single room. Chronic says 2 rooms. Well, which is it? You need to make the ladder. Yes, a ladder is needed. Ladders are a real pain in the ass. So is it single room or 2 rooms? It's 2 answers. I know there's 2 answers and they're different. The dupe wouldn't go into inventory, however you removed hex cores and it was fine. Well, I know it's hard to talk about all these things clearly. You're typing, I'm speaking and reading, and but I thought I'll let it go. I'm pretty sure I know what you ran into, and we're just 2 rooms, Jay, 1 per prefab. And like a little hatch in between them, if you build a ladder or something. Geobays are visible from orbit, aren't they? Oops. Let's find out. Without a base, are geobays visible from orbit? I think so. The ladder cuts out the circular portion in the middle of the room to make an opening for the ladder. Okay, geobay visible. If we don't want to make a whole base, we don't really need a teleporter. We can just warp into this system, and if we want to, drop a nomad geobay in a few different planets and use it as a starting point for a little bit of farming from time to time. We could do that. We need a ton of frost crystals, and one of these planets is Slow Sentinel. Which one is it? Not that one. Isit. Too. It's right here. Let's go to Pacipin. Hey, Andy Brunsky. Hello. Thank you. Didn't know. I did not know. The number goes up and down. If it just cracked it, I wouldn't count on it staying there. But thank you. Yeah, see what I mean? That's good. I don't do much with numbers these days. I don't do much with those numbers. They're not watching them. Sorry, as a matter of fact, can we just not talk about numbers? Viewers and followers. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Next topic. I can't think straight. Sorry. You know that half of them showed up when, during the onboarding process, like literally half of them. Half of them are not people who have ever been around. So it's as artificial as could be. You remember the onboarding process? Remember we had to turn off the follow alerts during NieR last year because there were literally like 250 follows per stream. And it wasn't because there were 250 people watching. It was because Twitch went bonkers with their onboarding process. Anyways, thank you. Whatever it means, thank you. They'll never be able to clean that up. It's literally half the follows I will ever have, and they're fine. You know, it's never been something I wanted to focus on, but they made it meaningless during that onboarding experience last year. The number no longer has any meaning whatsoever. let's see. Prefabs are annoying if you're trying to build complex buildings due to the snapping points. For things, you'd go with metal instead. Fabs are annoying. You'd go with metal instead. Guardian, you went with wood. Carbon's easy to farm on any planet. Chronic metal's just ferrite, just as easy. Next, you use prefabs. Now you like to build. Chronic metal looks a hell of a lot better than wood. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you're just trying to make a farm, prefabs are good for quick. And if you want indoors, I haven't even made one dome yet, nor have I ever visited one, so I don't really know how they snap and interact with doors and walkways. You suggested putting a prefab putting a dome on top of a prefab. You then, how do you access the farm? Is it a ladder, or how do you access the geodome? What are some ways to access a geodome? This. Five plating.
Product constructed. Product constructed.
Predator! Predator kill! Not yet, he missed. You got him that time. Let's go scan his meal. Basically, the domes have planter slots in them for the planets. You just straight up put a door on it, it eliminates some of those slots. So with prefabs, plus the dome, you don't have to worry about destroying any of those slots since you're coming up through the floor. That makes sense. Question, are you restricted to biome-specific plants in those domes? Or can you put anything in them, like fully enclosed? Like let in the natural light and that changes what you can grow in them? I would hope you can grow anything in a biodome. Anything goes. Nice. It's nice. Alright, I didn't even look to see if from here we can even spot any fungal mold, but if not, we'll just pick a direction and go and try to spot some fungal mold. Yes, this is inefficient. It's also just fine by me. And what we're gonna do. Feeling like I need to strive for some portrait of efficiency, and the way we do things here is just, you know, it's like I can't do it. It's too stressful. I mean, I do it anyways. I am always feeling checkbox goal oriented here, and then off stream it's like whatever. Although whatever is really chill. And we got to do this or this or this or this is less chill. It's hard to get in the anything goes mode. Here it always is. This game is an interesting combination of things. So let's pick a cardinal direction because let's just go north from this site. It's the only compass marker we have that's really any good and is not going to go anywhere. Can really catch the mean air in this thing though. Whoa, and a nice warp back. Hopping out while it's still moving. Well, I may have picked a horrible spot. This planet has fungal mold, but does it actually have any nodes? Does it have any nodes anywhere near where I put down a geobay? All good reasons to farm if your goal is to get the stuff that we are currently looking for. This is not the best way to do it. That's fine. Oh! It does look goofy when this it's just sitting back. Turned it into a boat. All you have to do is drive like a maniac. You can turn it into a boat. There we go. So, the fungal mold, as I'm trying to familiarize myself with some of what we're making, into which subcomponents. The fungal mold was not the polyfiber, was it? Fungal mold. Do what now?
Toxic protection. Falling.
Organic catalyst. Salt. You can destroy the bay, then place it down when you find a spawn point for them. Usually respawn in the same spot. You can come back. When you destroy the bay, it doesn't go to your inventory though. You get resources back, right? Partial. Yeah, yes, that makes good sense, and I was talking about maybe doing that. It would make more sense to put a teleporter and a base next to these nodes. I am not being very efficient right now. Why I put a teleporter and a base right next to an activated indium node and stuck some automated harvesters on it. And yeah, I called the base activated indium or whatever. So I can just go there and pick up my indium. Yeah, I want to do that with a bunch of other stuff. But if we're going to set up a farm, I don't know. Yeah, we could still do that. We could still put bases next to nodes. In fact, that selenium node that we found that was just kick-ass, that would have been the one to put a base next to. And if we find a fungal cluster that's just crazy big, that would be the place to put it next to, because if they do respawn, and if they respawn with the same size they had initially, then yeah, let's pick a good one. We got 250. There are spawns that are much bigger, so see, right, the bay was the only way to spawn the exocraft to get where you're going, then dropping it next to the node so it'll be an orbital marker, but a beacon would suffice for the same purpose. And so what happens if we said we wanted to make another one? Just components. But we would destroy. What do you get back from destroying the bay? A bay or just some components? But yeah, a beacon would be just as good. I mean, use the Colossus Geobay and use that as extra inventory space so you can take more back with you, since the resources will spawn back with it on another planet. Yeah, but what good would it be? Why is the Colossus any good for traveling around on a planet? You're saying spawn 2 bays? Colossus for storage and Nomad for travel? Or what are you suggesting? The Colossus just seems like it would be miserable to use. Nothing. Going north here. So yeah, I just assume we make a farm. Farm would be good, but I'm not ready to do that right now. For now, I don't really care that it's inefficient. Let's just want to collect some. Maybe we make a stack and make some money, just for fun. Why are we playing the game? No particular reason, just for fun. So I don't see that it really matters what we're doing. What's with the advanced mining lasers not being available on the vehicles? Did that just change? Was it always that way? Donk times 4. How do you get so many units for discovering stuff? I will show you. Yeah, you can stack S-Class upgrades for the scanner. You can stack 3 of them in your multi-tool. And I have actually one A-Class that has better percentages for fauna than a lot of S-Classes. But if you look, you get thousands of % bonus to scanning flora and fauna for the scanner mods. So if you take a few of them, you can stack 3 of them and you put them next to each other and next to the scanner mods, they'll all bind and you get extra bonuses from them still, and a whole lot of money from scanning things. With this current setup, I'm getting 400,000 for scanning a rare creature and 57,000 for scanning a plant. Just a great moneymaker. Obviously a good moneymaker.
Toxic protection falling.
Oh, hold still, little guy.
Units received.
You can build the blueprint as well. Apparently they don't count towards total mods. Really? So if you buy... I'm not... Put it here. I guess there would be room. I don't know, would it bind to the others too? If you built... I guess I don't even have it. But if you built the blueprint for improving your scanner and you get like a little bit from it, that would stack on top of the others. It does bind to them and stacks. Man, there's some weird stuff going on under the hood.
Units received.
Come on. Not much, but it does stack. Yeah, why not? Every little bit. As long as you have the inventory room for it. We are a little bit too far away to do this without it being a pain in the ass. Come on. Give me one. We'll take the plant. Different classes don't count to that 3 limit thing. It's just, it's not just the blueprint.
Units received.
I can't get any of these to trigger. I don't even want your silly. You get closer, but I don't want to abandon my vehicle. Fungal cluster to the north, just west of north. That's what we're here for. Yeah, not the greatest node, but structure obtuse. In terms of root structure, what does that mean? Okay, fungal cluster, northwest. I wish the tag would hold. Northwest, northwest. Didn't say obese, it said obtuse. But yeah, I think I almost read it that way too. But it did not say that. This is neat spawning from the ground. I don't. You can direct post from PS4. Unless, can you get a shareable link? No, you still can't direct post it. You'll have to. No, if there's no Discord app, I don't think so. I don't think you can use the web version of Discord in a browser on the PS4. Not that I know of. But can't you? If you use whatever sharing methods Sony provides and get a link that you can share with people, can't you also get that link from the app on your phone or the website on a browser on a computer and then post the link into Discord? I mean, it just seems... I'm sorry, man. It seems like a kind of small problem. I don't actually know the answer, but if the goal is to get either a link or an image from PS4 somewhere else, I just can't believe there's not a way. I get that you can't use the browser for Discord. That makes sense. But tell me Sony doesn't have a way to share a link to an image that you've shared, that you've got, that you took with the screenshot. Surely there's a way. I mean, without posting it to Twitter or Facebook, is there no way? Can you not just share it on Sony's? I'm such a social flunky. I've never used anything. I just don't opt into a lot of stuff like that. I really don't know how a lot of the services work over the years. Take a photo of your TV. I still do that every day. Just because I do it for the stupidest reason too. I can screen cap stuff in like a bunch of different ways over here, but when I'm playing the same game over there, I don't even have a keyboard with me. I don't have anything mapped on the mouse. I can't take the screenshot with the controller, and yet things happen, and it's like, I'm not gonna get up, walk over here to hit a button on the keyboard. I just pick up my phone and take a picture of it. It's more like I want a mental log anyways. Humans are weird. We're weird. I don't know about humans anymore. About ready to hand in my human card. Huh. That might be my favorite thing about the Nomad so far is getting... Oh shit, plasma grenades! What the hell is it doing? Go.
Toxic protection falling.
That's a showstopper. Unstable plasma. Nothing to buy it rather than make it for my own stuff. I'm starting to feel that way about a bunch of things. Like, why should I mine all this ferrite dust? I'll just buy a stack of ferrite dust. Why should I? Getting a little lazy. That's not good. Hydroponic, what about USB stick? What happened to that? USB stick. Offload them to a USB stick, put them on any computer, and then go, go, go. What was it? The fungal mold. I wanted to look at which items used the fungal mold so I even knew what... Well, I want to take notes, and I know C-Star, you said you were starting to write some of it down. I was starting a spreadsheet so I could calculate. I found a nice calculator online, but it's for a previous version of the game. It's not accurate at this time. Cactus flesh for the unstable gel. The acid, was it just the acid? Maybe it was just the acid, and look at how much it needs. 600 per acid. So what was the acid for? Acid for fusion accelerant, one of its subcomponents. What was the acid for? Liquid explosives. Liquid explosives went into, so that's if you're making a fusion igniter. Use liquid explosives and like fusion accelerant, part of the portable reactor. But along with geodesite, quantum processors makes another item. So we don't necessarily. Again, we should focus. Even if I'm just having fun and we're messing around and experimenting, if I make half of what we need for a stasis device and half of what we need for a fusion igniter, we will have neither. So a little bit of focusing. I do have a lot of stuff in containers. I have a lot of materials already. That's why we just need some of these base components. We lost a frigate yesterday too. How do you mean it got completely obliterated? No option to repair? What happened? So I don't know. Grab a new one sometime when you're out. They're good things to have around. Grab a couple. Or if you don't do the online ordering thing, yeah, just grab a couple. They're at the checkout counters at office stores and general stores. Asked to repair, you continued regardless, and boom. Aha! So that's what happens if you don't bring them back when they request to come back. Okay, so acid would be part of the liquid explosives if we're going for fusion igniters. But look at how much fungal mold you would need. An incredible amount. 600 per acid. So basically 600 per fusion igniter. For a single fusion igniter, 600 fungal mold. Craziness. Alright. I don't want to stay here for now then. It doesn't matter, I don't have a plan for anything, so it's fine. But how about we go get a lot of frost crystals? Because we can just leave the Nomad here. Because we're gonna make glass domes, biodomes, anything. We're gonna need a lot of frost crystals. Let's fill a bloody ship with frost crystals. Not this ship. Despite its name. Even damaged, it's possible they survive. Well, it's good that it's possible. All good. I look forward to it when it happens. Chronic, one day. Since getting the Atlas passes, I'm suddenly swimming in launch fuel and warp cells and extra antimatter. When you get the Atlas passes and you can open up those other containers, it will change some of your crafting habits. Like, we've got a lot now. I don't know what to do with all of this warp fuel. I guess we could put it in our other ships. It's the only one I'm flying. Oh. Yay! We could just go warping around for fun, burn through warp fuel. Where's dioxide? Eventually, might want an automated harvester on some, but I've got a big stack on the, maybe not on the freighter, but I have a stack somewhere. A box. Maybe in a box and what's on the freighter, and I have a 500 stack in my backpack. I don't think we need to collect any dioxide. Just want frost crystals. Oh, it's all water. Not pick a very good spot. Let's see if that can help us find some land. That'd be neat. Pretty neat. Cool, thank you. Yay, ice storms. Alright, I'm buying some ion batteries. I don't want to have to craft them. How many slots do I want to fill? We're going to be making... we'll use them, it's all good. 15? It's cheap. Ion batteries are cheap. Much more convenient than crafting them.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Forward that way. Build the Nomad, take the ship, run on foot. Let's try going, you know what? I like going on foot. When we find a kick-ass spawn, then, need to explore. Maybe we put it next to that. Or just the base. You know, you could make nanites. Yeah, someone mentioned it. What was it? You refine... What is it? You... Somebody mentioned it. And I forgot. What was it? How do you make the nanites? Nah, you know what? I'm gonna make the Nomad here. Whatever. That's why I bought the batteries. Goop 3 times. Goop, goop, and goop makes nanites. Ah, nice. Did you catch that, Chronic, when we were talking about refining goop into silver? Did they change it or what? Goop, goop, and goop makes nanites, huh? Does it make a lot of nanites? We're gonna need ferrite dust, aren't we? Oh. Had enough. Had enough. Just. I think I was carrying 2 stacks of ferrite dust. You can just refine junk into them, or you can refine platinum into them as well. We should also scan for a depot with this thing. I haven't done any scanning on these planets, so a depot would be good. A couple depots. Just leave that there for now. 5 to 1 for junk and 2 to 1 for platinum. You guys are doing all the nasty stuff, huh? You're refining all the nasty stuff and making money. Rusted metal get in there anywhere? Bottom of the hill. Four travelers talking to each other, huh? Never seen that. That would be a sight.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
May as well head towards the resource depot. Maybe we'll find some frostwort on the way. Hey G, good evening. Hope you're well tonight. What are you up to?
Units received. Thermal protection falling.
Where's the nomad? Up you go. This is where it's nice to have an exocraft. Climbing hills. Like, this is the #1 reason for me to even be doing this. I wouldn't mind running if it wasn't for how slow you have to go climbing hills. I mean, I've got all the jetpack fuel you can have, and it's not enough to run forever, so. Hills. Exocraft beats hills. I'm continuing to break down internally, since you asked. Better not to ask. You like this game, though. not be much of me left by the time we... I don't really even have a way to... There may not be much of me left, but I do like this game. How about that? That works. It's closer to accurate than whatever babbling was about to come out. Spatial Reed, you haven't made your exocraft yet. I'm driving like a maniac. This is one of the exocrafts. The Nomad is a bit of a hovercraft with its little Nebuchadnezzar pads. I should have been paying attention for Frostward. I just decided, let's go to the depot. Why not? Haven't even been using the little jump to get air. It's just, you just get air anyways. Did I roll right by it? Did we finally get there? Can't see anything in this blizzard. But more than that, what about my waypoints? About my own waypoints. We had waypoints to a resource depot. I lost the damn thing. Where's a resource depot? Oh man. Why are the waypoints in this game gotta be like that? There we are. I had a feeling we had just passed it. Okay. No, lock it in, because I really can't see anything in this blizzard. Can't see my craft that's 20 feet away. Plasma launcher. I better load up some extra plasma.
Thermal protection falling.
And I want to get some mods for Pulse Spitter. I installed a Pulse Spitter, Chronic. I only have one mod for it so far. Oh, wait, did we get all 5? Tell me we got a hole-in-one. Oh, doggy going by. Hole-in-one. Look at that. Nice. Love it when that happens. Okay, time to bail. Here, yes, please. Yes, please, let's go, please. Alright, while they're looking, probably find me here, but let's see, straight ahead. There's some Frostward, 600 units, straight ahead. Straight ahead. Frostward? 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 Anyone? You better stop and check. There it is. Escaping Sentinels without launch fuel. Or accidentally going into space while you have an alert and then getting all the cops in the galaxy after you. I think I hear ships. Okay. Nice, Sentinel stopped. Game is all the same, you got it. I think the only version differences are if you play the GOG version on PC the GOG version does not yet have the new multiplayer stuff in it. It has the next update, but only in a single player form, however that works. You're going west. The waypoint's going to disappear when I get in the craft. I have to think about. And the camera spins. And it's not enough that the waypoint disappears. The camera's got to spin when you get in the vehicle too. Ditch your waypoint, spin your camera. Thanks. Thanks. KG just got water ballooned by Chronic. What did I miss? All right, who started it? Like a record, baby. Right, round, round. Just usual. Just the usual. Yes, spatial read. It is. The bonuses are not listed, but you can see the colors, the different items that have synergy with each other get a color. And that works for Tool, it works for Starship, whether you're in normal slots or tech slots. And so, even though the numbers that are shown here don't change, like when you put this in 78, 66, you put the other one next to it, and this one won't change. It'll still say 78 and 66, but they'll get that box, and whatever that box means, there's a bonus. There's more. The only time I've ever been able to really see it, see a number that was affected by it was a different ship. I put a hyperdrive mod in a different ship. Like a hyperdrive mod, this one has 221 light years that it adds. I took an exotic with 156, added a hyperdrive mod that was 200, and instead of going up to 356, it went up to like 480. That was the synergy working. So it didn't change the number on here. That still said 200, but my hyperdrive range went up by more than 200. So that was the only time I've ever seen a quantifiable result. But the game says it's doing something all the other times too. There's a bonus. There's some bonus. So yeah, it's a little intangible, but it's there. I think so, Guardian. The synergy still works even though it doesn't say anything. I'm just guessing here. I mean, either that or they're really messing with us. Either that or most of this is useless. The pulse drive power, because this shows percentages, it's hard to tell. I mean, the number goes up a lot, but it's percentages, not a... Like the light years was easy. It said 200 light years went up by more than 200. Most of these are percentages. It's a little harder to quantify the bonus. Wait, we need either another node or... We're just messing around anyways, so... What are we getting? More frost crystals if they're here. Should have scanned for another depot. Since we've already moved away from one, what happens when I scan for another depot? Let's see if it takes us back to the last one or successfully locates another. Nothing? Would it have worked if I had used it from the spot of the other depot? Huh. That's too bad. What did we pull out of that depot anyways? Aronium, Herox, Platinum, and Sulfurine. bought all those batteries so I could drop some Nomad platforms more easily. I didn't feel like crafting them, okay? I don't know. Those was being lazy and silly. Frost crystals. Guess we could send a bunch of them up. Frost crystals and the selenium together went into heat capacitors, which we need for circuit boards, which we need for quantum processors, which we need whether we're making one trade item or another. The quantum processors go into both of the top tier trade items. We need one for fusion igniters, and we need one for stasis devices. So either way, focusing on making quantum processors is reasonable. Superconductors and the semiconductors. Semiconductors you can buy sometimes. You can get them as quest rewards. You can also make them once you get the blueprint. What do you make them from? I've never made them. I have the blueprint though. Thermic condensate and nitrogen salt. You can also make thermic condensate and nitrogen salt, but you can also get them as loot from depots and things. So far, I've just been looting them. I haven't made thermic condensate or made nitrogen salt from nitrogen and condensed carbon. And woo, you could really go one step at a time, but nothing wrong with skipping a few steps. If you get some loot, organic catalyst, we keep getting that as a reward. Enriched carbon, we keep getting that out of depots. I have some stacks of some of these things. But quantum processors, well, you got to make those. And those circuit boards require the heat capacitors and the polyfiber. And the polyfiber, we need a lot of cactus flesh and a lot of star bulbs. The heat capacitor, we need a lot of what we have just gotten, frost crystals and selenium. So much crafting. If you want it. If you want it. You don't have to do this stuff, but last night I sold a stack of 5 stasis devices for 78 million units. I mean, it's more units than I've had. I just barely cracked 100 million the other day, and now I've got 229, and I'm thinking, oh, I got my eyes on the prize. I mean, those things are worth a lot. So if you kind of like crafting, then it might be worth. I mean, look at these numbers. It's worth doing if you enjoy crafting. If you like micromanaging inventories, resources, putting stuff together, it's fairly rewarding. And plus, then you get to scout out systems where it's better to sell stuff. Chronic, did you mention it? Did someone else mention it? When we were looking at a vendor, we were asking about all the extra items, all the junk items, what look like junk items. Why are they showing potential to sell things that you've never even had? Well, if those are the things that sell well in the system, maybe people are kind of, role-playing being traders. And they go from one system and they buy those items, those white items. They invest their money in buying low and then travel somewhere else and sell high. It's probably not the best way to make a lot of money. But if you enjoy doing it, it's cool that the game has systems for that. Such fluctuating prices that you could play the markets in different systems to buy and sell. Some people would really get off on that. That's cool. I get off on the idea of it. I don't think I'd actually want to do that, but I think it's cool as hell that it's there. Oh, birdies. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Come on. Come on. I couldn't scan these before either. Was that even on the last? I'm having trouble with birds today. Come on. Come on. Not the following. It's the starting the scan. Captain Frantic, heyo. Greetings. Purgy, hello. At the start, playing the market was pretty much the only way of making money. Okay? So leaving it in because it was kind of a legacy system might be another reason for it being there to this day. Are we staying? Am I just standing here? We're just standing here. We're just standing here. Let's go north. And you need 4 more jumps to known systems before you can continue Polo's regular quest line. You wish you could shoot him and take it all. Patience, patience. For any reason, and scan for anything else. No, you know what? No, no need. No nanites from nada. No nanites from nada for me. Use 250 to recharge. Man, that's the other thing. Running around in the Nomad is a carbon buster. Found a base spot on the event planet. How did you get a base on the event planet? And I thought they wiped all the bases that were already there. I didn't see bases or combuis yesterday on the event planet. You know how they used to spawn back? Or you could just plant bases anywhere? No, what do you mean? What could spawn back? Still there, but they did remove the combuis. Huh. Well, at least the combuis being gone is nice. Fresh sheets, nice. Trying to get on the bot's good side, huh? Base spots used to be fixed spawns that were seeded on planets. Okay. I've only barely heard about that. You couldn't just craft a base computer anywhere. I knew that was new, but bases only show up if those players are in the game. Yeah, okay. So uploaded bases would show up in their absence, but if they haven't been uploaded, then they only show up when the player's actually there. Right. We're gonna take our first break soon. I was kind of hoping to find another node while we were wandering. But farming would be the way to go, and if you really wanted to have, without having to farm, if you wanted to make a natural farm by dropping a base next to some nice nodes you could collect from, that would also be more practical than what I'm doing here, but all good. There's another node. All right, let's go to that node, grab what's there, take a break. Found a base computer out in the wild in the middle of the circular flat area rollover from the old base building system. What would be a sign of that? How would you know it was from the old system? I found a... On our last save, I found another player's base computer and teleporter on a planet that I discovered, and it didn't look like it was... I don't know, it was all numbers. The player's name was just a string of numbers. So it wasn't clear if that was really a player. I'm driving past stuff, but where did the... Yeah, this is for the birds. This is no way to do it. If you could just see the waypoints when you were in the Nomad, that'd be fine. The fact that they disappear is ludicrous. They're always in the middle of a flat circular area. You just claim it. Oh, so this is the kind of one you would put... You know what? Just to make an example out of it, let's put a base computer here. Why not? Here's Frost. A little frosty base. It was a player. He was just clearly a robot. Of course. Of course. But if this node does respawn periodically, then at least it's a good place to come back. There's probably 500 Frost Ward in that node or more. You join a random player's game and then set up a base in their system. Can you then warp to it when you load up your game? Yeah, that should work. Yeah, no problem. You have to drop a teleporter if you want to jump back there easily. Yeah. Speaking of... So, let's see, how much am I starting with? This is a fresh stack. So let's see how much we get from this, what looks like a really nice spawn. And then we'll see in the future if when it respawns, hopefully it respawns, and hopefully it respawns just as plentiful and doesn't turn into a wimpy spawn. Maybe this is all well documented, but not in my head, and it'll be a nice opportunity to observe some of the respawn mechanics for something like this. It seemed big enough to be worth putting a base next to. If it does respawn, it'll be a great little pickup. Whatever I could farm indoors, this has to be equivalent to a dome full of Frost Ward or better. You haven't seen these large plants respawn yet? You haven't. You haven't. Okay, so it might have been a fruitless effort. And then, you know, whatever, that base will do nothing, and I'll break it down one day. All good. Spatial read, you can probably get a better answer from someone else, but I know they are adding a lot more controls for the base permissions, who can do what, access, build, change. So whatever it is now, it's probably going to get better soon. People were complaining about, I don't know precisely what, but there were issues with permissions. You don't need to farm indoors. If the biome's right, you can just plant in the ground outside. So the farmer said. Yeah, I haven't done much with farming yet. We got 666. We got exactly 666 frost crystals out of that spawn. 500, 666. Yep, that happened. This is spooky. I didn't miss any. How did you find those vines and crystals to collect with the scanner? Yes, so the symbol, when you're at a distance, let's see if we can find one. It looks like a little flower symbol. a little leaf symbol, sorry. Little leaf symbol. And at a distance, you'll just see one. But when you get up close, you'll see many, one for every silly vine. But at a distance, you'll just, I don't see any here to make an example of, but it looks like just a little leaf. So instead of a box, it's a tiny little leaf. Those are the nodes you're looking for. Hello, Lamia. I'm about to take a break, so I'm glad I got to say hi right before I disappear. Aha! Like the one that boosts the jets. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is like that. I think it is like that. The Nomad, we could go sit in the Nomad. Of course, we could also just leave here. Let's leave here. I think we got enough Frostward for now. That was fun, just the blue leaf, but a different color. Yeah, it's just a plain gray leaf, but the same shape. Okay. Lamia says, hey everyone. I hope you're good out there today. Lamia and anyone just getting here, sorry for breaking on you right when you got here, but yes, keep your eyes open. Alright, well I will try not to dawdle too much. It'll be about a 10-minute break. I'm hoping we go 6 hours today, so if we're going another 4 hours, I'm gonna need a break now and another break in a couple, so need a few.